Hey, Bryce here. So, today for this Bookkeeping Business Secrets podcast, what we're going to be saying is how to grow your business and how to avoid some of the mistakes that cause most people to fail. So, I'm going to talk about a couple of rookie mistakes. I'm going to talk about what is the business lesson you can take from this and implement on your own business to make sure you don't fall prey to this. Because if I had a channel like this when I first got started, it would not take me nearly as long to go and reach 6 figures inside of my business. So I want to provide this information for you today to make sure you can move forward. And also, if you want some help growing your business, maybe been thinking about growing your business, but it's just not quite going the way that you hoped. It's just taking a lot longer than what you expected. And you feel that if you had a better process to be able to go and grow your business, you'd reach your goals in a much faster, shorter time period. If you want help with this, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program. So, jumping back to what we're talking about. So, rookie mistake that I'm thinking about today is, number 1, spending time on non-ROI activities that you think generates ROI. Now, usually what this is caused by is doing a marketing process that is further than where your current marketing either chops or foundation is set. So I'll give you a good example. So a lot of people, they try and make social media posts from the day they start their business. The thought process is you make a post, someone sees that post, they end up wanting to work with you, right? But in the beginning, and here's even a step back, a caveat of social media. Social media in general does not show your post to new audiences. It shows it to your existing audience list, right? The only exception that's going to be YouTube and then Instagram for using Instagram Reels. But that's a story for a totally different day, right? So the majority of times, it's only going to show to 5 to 10% of your total audience. So if your total audience is only 100 people, or and 10 of those people own a business, 90% don't own a business, when you post, you're not going to get much traction, right? So, but again, it's because of your foundation. You don't have enough leads, right? On social media, you should generally follow what's called the 1% rule. That means that 1% of your total qualified audience should end up working with you. Now, again, that the key word there is 1% of your qualified audience, not 1% of your overall audience. If you somehow figure out a way to become famous, like as a rock star or something, right? You're not going to get a bunch of clients for your accounting firm unless you have a significant number of business owners, right? It's just because you're probably going to have a lot of civilians, people that don't own a business that know you exist. So posting is really going to be based on that list size, right? And again, if you had the list size already, and if you already had clients that came from those lists, so let's say you have a list of we'll say 300 people, or a good number will probably be 1,000 people on LinkedIn. Okay, so out of 1,000 people on LinkedIn, you should have about 10 to 15 clients inside of that profile list, right? So let's say you got 3 already, and you know there's another 7 to 12 out there. You can make posts because you know the right people are going to see it, and it's going to convert a portion of people over time. Again, at that time, it would be the right stage in your journey. Your foundation would be set. But until you set that foundation, it doesn't really make sense for you to start doing that, right? It's it's basically just gonna be considered busy work, right? There was one person that I used to talk to, I can't remember exactly who, but the person used to say, I think it was a professor in college, but the person used to say you're either busy or you're productive, right? And you're very rarely both. Because oftentimes, stuff you do when you're busy is not necessarily the same thing as stuff that's being productive, right? Because if you're being productive, you're crossing so many different things off your list that you're not going to be quite as busy moving forward. It's the same thing when it comes to this. You want to just be very productive. Now, so up today as a Bryce. If I can't post, what should I be spending my time thinking? Okay, so number 1, you have to be thinking about expanding your sphere of influence, right? One thing that I like to think about is either building an audience or building a lead list. I like the difference between an audience and a lead list, an audience knows you, likes you, trusts you, and the relationship has already been built. A lead list is a set of names and people who you have yet to build a relationship with. So most people over time, they start with a lead list, they develop an audience, right? So for most of you watching this, you're not going to ever develop an audience, right? If you're not posting content, you're not making videos, you're not writing blogs, you're generally not going to have an audience. You instead need to have a lead list. Now, if that is the case of having a lead list, your lead list on social media is literally the equivalent of your It's almost like a digital bank account. It's kind of like I like thinking about it. It's like the stored value of money and time that has not been realized yet. So the larger you can grow your list, the more potential money that you have over time, right? So some people ask, like, why did I actually go and get like 40,000 people inside my Facebook group? It's because I knew I wanted to know exactly where like my clients were going to be, and I could really go and build the how do you say, build the foundation to get as much money as I want, as long as I want, right? There are some limitations that, like, why did I not go and get 100,000 people? It's because, like, handling volume, and we only take about 10 new students per month for our mentorship program. So there is a actual, like, it is a self-imposed cap or limitation on our growth. But that's because we wanted to provide, like, really great service. And, if you get too many people inside of your program, it makes it very hard to do a lot of other things. So let's say that you had 20,000 people times 0.01, right? There's about 200 clients inside of there, or there were. We realized the majority of the clients in that group. So now I think we're always kind of like thinking about, like, what do we actually want to do, whether we want to go and grow that group more. What I'm thinking is I'm actually going to start a new group, because Facebook has made it very hard to, like, message people who are either not your friends or who are not following you. So if our old way of building our business relied very, very heavily on messaging people, so that significantly, kind of put a wrench kind of in some of our plans, right? So we're kind of restructuring, just kind of thinking things around to see, like, which one is going to be, like, the best methodology, kind of moving forward to see, like, what's the thing. But at least at the stage that you are at in your business, if you have 1,000 people, you can message all 1,000 people. I can't message 40,000 people. Like, Facebook just does not let me do that. But when you're starting out and you have 1,000 people on your list, you have the ability to go and send some messages. And again, you don't have to be doing that much. It's literally just talking probably like 20 people a day via text message and seeing if they're ready to start working with you. It's a very, very simple process. You just have to be able to kind of do it and just do it over time. Let me see example. Yeah, I'm trying this platform. It's called School. It's very interesting, kind of like look at it, because it's cool, and like it doesn't have any messenger limitations. But I don't know exactly if people are very responsive on it. It's very similar like LinkedIn. So LinkedIn's good because no one really knows how to use it, even though it's been around for probably, what is that, about 13 years? Sorry, 17 years, and no one still knows how to use it, right? But it's just people don't really like talk on it quite as much as what they could or what they should, because they don't get like the messenger kind of like requests and stuff like that. So that's one downside with LinkedIn. But it is what it is essentially. So hopefully learn something new. Hopefully you can avoid being busy and just keep being as productive as possible. So that's really the secret that's going to take you, from maybe not having a lot of clients towards growing your business. Now, if you don't know what you actually need to do to be productive, like maybe you just don't have a path kind of forward. Maybe you don't know what you don't know in order to kind of like move. If you want help, if you want a roadmap, if you want to be able to go and reach your goals in a short time period, so that you can start not necessarily thinking about money and start making decisions based on your family, based on the amount of time, based on like being able to travel. If those are some things that you want, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program. Okay? I'm super excited to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great rest of your day. Take it easy. Talk to you soon.